how tough they do can be, how good it feels on the high points, and then how tough it is when you do suffer a difficult part. It's good for people to feel that and kind of notice what it's like, because these kids put so much time and effort into everything.
We always say it's about the stories. It's not really about it's about the stories of the kids and the coaches and really the journey more than really the destination.
Absolutely. That's the word I think I use the most when we talk to our kids. We want them to appreciate the journey, and like when you have a tough day, like be okay with having a tough day, because that's going to be part of where we're trying to go in the end, and then it makes those good moments effect, but don't shy away from the tough times that you have. So that's an important part of your career to be able to do that, and it's tough to do because everybody wants to always look to the future. It's hard to enjoy the moment.
And it's a really good point, and I've talked to many kids in the last couple of years, and one stands out for sure, and that's Abby Arena from West Alice Hale. What she told me, she went to play at Oshkosh on a volleyball scholarship, and she said, Gary, I spent so much time thinking about where am I going to college, and what am I going to do, and where am I going to play for, that I didn't fully enjoy my time in high school because I was so looking forward to those times. And I got there, and within 2 weeks, I realized I don't want to do this. And I feel like I wish I could go back and, enjoy those moments more than what I did. Not that I didn't enjoy them, but really just, soak them in more than maybe she would have at that time. So hear a lot of those stories. I mean, it's not about scholarships. It's not about, going and playing college ball. I mean, these are the best years right here.
Absolutely. And when you get older and you look back on your career, you don't think about many of the games. You think about the car rides with your friends, or the bus trips, and the conversations that you had, and all those times that you're hanging out with your teammates. Those are the moments that you think about when you talk to your friends. Very rarely are we actually talking about something you did during the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, 31 years ago I had my last practice, and our last game we lost in the regional finals, and the first teammate on that team that I was on passed away this year, and really, we all got together and talked, and believe me, we didn't talk about that game that we won or that game that we lost. We talked about the bus rides, we talked about the locker room, we talked about the things that we did as a group, and how special that was, because that's what you remember. Nobody remembers the score and what our record was. I couldn't even tell you, but I remember my friends and my teammates and how much that team meant to me, and how much that kid meant to us that we lost this year. It was pretty fast.
Absolutely.
8:30 to go. 26-15. Well, I'll tell you what, the Lakers black team has played really well this afternoon.
Especially defensively in this game. And they got a little more size than the Freeze, but they really did a good job keeping them out of the paint. The Freeze have basically taken all jump shots in the last 10 possessions.
I think Coach Isaiah, he's just so positive. He's just such a positive, influence on these girls. He's got 4 girls of his own, so, he totally gets it. But, the community is so fortunate to have him and their family and really all they do in Eastburg.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's one of my favorites that I coached against. Back when we coached against each other in some non-conference games, and just getting to know him through that. And been a big fan of him ever since. And there's just so many good coaches. I feel like that there's a lot of good coaches that don't have the great records, but they're great coaches. And those coaches don't get the recognition they always have. Now, Eastburg's been a strong program for quite a while.
Right.
And they're going to be a very good team. But
I'll tell you what, in a few years when those Ketterhagen girls come up, watch out. I've already told Isaiah, book me on the front row for that show, because I want to see that live. I watched them play in their youth night. Holy smokes, they're like 6th graders. They look crazy good.
Yeah, they're going to be, they've always been a strong program, and they're going to continue to get better. But it's always just fun to watch them play.
Yeah.
The way they play, because they're a good team, and they play together, and they're not based off of one person. So.
Well, just the way they do things. When we went up there, not that it's all about us, but he gave me a back way to come in, to deal with people and stuff, bringing stuff in. He had all the varsity players come and meet me in the back by the locker room just to introduce themselves, and just got a few minutes to just spend with them rather than just come in, do the game, and go out. He really made it about, understand who these guys are and what they do, and understand our players and who they are. And it was really a neat experience, and it's a very, very fond memory, I will say.
Yeah, and that's the point. Like, you want it to be an experience.
Yeah. Short, good rebound. Take your time on that putback. That was number 10.
Not on the roster.
Not on the roster. Casey Ott and the foul.
Yeah, I think the Freeze, their legs have kind of given out on them a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they just got done playing before they came over here.
These back-to-backs are tough. I
Yeah.
mean, the Blizzard did the same thing, and I was really impressed with the way they came back in the second half. They're playing back-to-back games with 9 kids.
They haven't been taking bad shots. They've just been a little short
Yeah.
on it. You can tell,
Yeah, they look a little gassed.
Yeah. It's a nice move.
Nice
right
drive.
there. Turnus.
Ashley Turnus for 2.
It's a nice. She set up her move really well with a little shoulder fake to the middle, and then kind of went baseline. That's a nice move.
Ashley's just a junior. I didn't see 31 Vazquil. I don't think she's here today, Alex. I haven't seen her. Another, really good athlete. Here is number 5 for the Lakers. This is Riley Madden from Jefferson.
Jefferson.
I haven't done any games with Jefferson. We're actually going to do a game with Fort Atkinson this year. We're going to go up to Fort and hang out with the Blackhawks out there. I'll tell you what, these small schools, Coach, have really jumped onto this, what we're doing. And I get so many messages like, hey, could you come and do something with us? And we're going to some crazy places next year. But it's about, when we get asked, I never want to say no because clearly they want help in promoting what they're doing and they want to give these kids an experience. Pass ahead to Ott. Nice up and under. Boy, I would have loved to see that gone in. That was a really, really nice move by Casey. Protecting the ball from the defender, just didn't get it to fall. Oh, Mike and drill there.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice block.
Block.
Too. That's a little.
That's Dolmas, Kelsey.
Yeah, you guys, I know you came up to Berlin last year.
Had a great time at Berlin. That was so fun.
I know you did a Wrightstown game, a Freedom
Yep,
game.
Freedom. We went out to McFarland, did a game out there, and we really loved doing that Thursday night experience. That was a lot of fun, and it really caught on. People really kind of jumped on it.
Talk about athletes. I officiated 2 Freedom games last year. Those kids can play.
The kid that really impresses me out of Freedom, love Gabby Johnson and the girl that went to Green Bay, I can't remember her name now, but the kid that really stuck with me is Carly Peters from Freedom. Carly not only was a good athlete, but she enlisted in the U.S. Army as a cannon operator and a paratrooper.
Really?
And it signed an 8-year commitment to the U.S. Army. That to me really impressed me.
That is very impressive.
But at Freedom, the Vanderloops do a fantastic job up there. They've got a great program going at Freedom.
Yeah.
Ball loose, still loose. Dolmas and Ott fighting for it, and we're going to have a jump ball.
I'll tell you, every year we do a 90s night. We have 90s.
Love it.
So when I was in Omro coaching the Vanderloops, we were playing in regionals. That was our matchup. So they came to scout us in our last game, and it was happened to be 90s night. And they came up to me after the game. They said, "Coach, that is the best pregame playlist we have ever heard in my entire life."
Love it.
So I've always liked the Vanderloops ever since.
Yeah, and it's a real family affair with that group.
And they do everything the right way.
They
too.
definitely do. Yeah, Mike and Jen do a great job there, and they're great friends of ours. Ott and the foul.
And he was coaching softball too. I don't think he's doing it anymore. But we had played them a few times, and he was a softball coach as well. So.
Yeah, but we had a great time up at Freedom. Went up there for their game with Appleton East, and but that was all the way down to the wire. East able to pull it out in the end. Boy, they're going to be a really, really good team this year.
You could say that about a lot of teams in
the Valley. There's so much in the Valley right now. I know Hortonville's losing the McGlone kid,
but they've
Cammy Pepler's back, and you got a lot of good players on that team. I mean, Coach Celeste does a great job over there. I mean, they're going to be good.
Hortonville has some kids coming up too that are already just really impressive, and they aren't even in high school yet.
Nice.
So
I heard about a set of twins from Pewaukee that were here tonight. The Pewaukee parents are already promoting these kids. Like, we know you love Kennedy Osterman. She was my buddy at Pewaukee, graduated this year. But these two twins coming up, you got to meet them and see that they're in 8th grade now.
I mean, the FVA is just so good.
It's like the Greater Metro. I mean, there is no night off in that conference either. I mean, you got Kimberly, you got Hortonville, you got Appleton East. I mean, go up and down the list here.
Yeah, I mean, Appleton North had been strong for a few years
yep.
there, and then I'm telling you, Nina, I teach in Nina, and they've got a incoming freshman's already got D1 offers.
Is that right?
So, I mean, you're talking, I think Nina finished 7th place last year.
That is one of the few teams that we haven't done anything with. We have done anything with Nina. We did a little bit of volleyball, but they were in a tournament that we just happened to be at. But we've never been there.
Sure. Awesome field house they got there.
Is that right?
We just got approved for a new high school. It'll be done in, I think, 2024. But the field house that they currently have is a really cool place.
Nice. Pass inside, and 3-point shot is no good. Again, just a bit short.
That's a good steal. Got to go all the way and finish.
Kelsey Dolmas, and we're going to have a foul. Well, the Freeze making a little comeback here, 31-24 with 3:46 to go. We had some really good games today. We've had a couple buzzer beaters, and not bad for the 25th of July or whatever, the 23rd or 22nd of July.
Well, and that's what you want as a coach in this. I mean, you want close games where kids have to execute in situations and learn, because that's what the summer should be for.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, it's not really about winning tournaments and,
right.
wins and losses. But, I mean, it's those game situations. You want those kids involved in those things so they, have those opportunities.
And I think that's the thing that's hardest to work on is you just don't get real-life situations in games and end-of-game situations. And
yeah.
Anytime you can get those in an atmosphere where it's okay to fail, it's a good positive for those kids. And a lot of kids, you got to imagine, are going to be looking at different roles on their high school team coming into the next year. So things that they're working on and how they're trying to get ready for their high school season as well. So
everything changes, with the 2020 kids moving on. I mean, there'll be a lot of changes and for a lot of schools and how they do things. Callie Isabel will be a big part of the Slinger team next year with a really good senior class moving on. Anna Breyer, Maddie Rothenhofer, Taylor Rhodes, Danny Bietenbender played for the team for 3 years, was student manager, 4th year, and I'm missing somebody. I'm always missing one player, but they've got some holes to fill for sure, and so they're going to count on Callie, I'm sure, to be a big part of that team next year. Mallory Hoytink also will be another one, and Casey Ott, of course. So I mean, they got some weapons coming back, but some holes to fill.
Yeah, and that's always an exciting part. I mean, I think for coaches as well is who's going to be the kids that step up when those opportunities are there.
And those opportunities are made right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't get out in the driveway and practice, and if you don't get, more than anything else, I think it was so underrated is strength training. If you don't do strength training, you're going to be at a disadvantage when it comes time to lace them up.
Absolutely. And I think more and more schools are putting an emphasis on that.
As they should. It's so critical, especially if you want to play at the next level. I mean, you better be strong because, I mean, it's big world basketball that.
Absolutely. Well, here's the Freeze's chance. They got the clock stopped, so they got to make get some free points here.
Turnus at the line, Drayden Bolt, 33-26, 2:44 to go. Coach Isaiah wants a timeout, still coaching them up. We'll take a quick break. 2:44 remaining, 33-26 Lakers. You're watching W7. Katie McCabe for 2. And it's back to a 9-point lead. 35-26.
And here's the chance. The Freeze basically, they got to get points on each possession. They got to get a few stops here, but really got to get a quality look and try to get some points right now. Give it to them inside. Posting up strong.
So Ella Tempest right here, number 30. I'm surprised she's not played a huge role on the offense in this game anyway, and she's a big part of that Oostburg team. She needs to be more assertive on the floor and look for those opportunities. She's been a little bit passive in this game, and again, I get it. I mean, it's a lot of coming back and playing and getting back into things, but you're only going to get so many of these games, and then that's it, and it's time to put it away until November.
Right.
Ella's first one is no good. Rebound McCabe. McCabe. Doesn't it sound like a PI or something,
Absolutely.
He's driving like a, GTO or something, solving crimes. Katie McCabe on the case. Like I said, if you want X's and O's, you're probably in the wrong place. If you landed here,
It's hard to talk about the X's and O's in summer, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is. McCabe no good on the shot, rebound. Yeah, in January, February, it's a little bit different story. But in July, we're going to have fun with it.
With a lot of these club teams,
A good look by Ella. Didn't go, but a good look anyway.
Kids are coming from different systems and different programs, so
Right.
So it's hard to kind of get the X's and O's down, especially with the limited practice time.
Clearly, the officials are done calling fouls. We're just going to play this thing out here.
It'll look car accident or there.
Brutal. 37-26, Lakers by 11. We will publish tomorrow's schedule later tonight when I get home. I'll have to take a look at the games and see. But we're only going to have one rig going tomorrow, so it'll just be Larry and I tomorrow. So you're stuck with just one choice. I know. It feels like the 80s again with the presidents on every channel. But, that's the way it's got to be. So we'll be back for that. And then Saturday we'll be at Thiensville for softball all day Saturday with the Germantown Warhawks. And Coach, I obviously I know you're a big softball guy. I am so looking forward to getting on the field and seeing some softball again.
Yeah, it's
long overdue, my friend. We put cameras in the dugouts. I mean, we have a good old time.
Yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow this year to have the whole season kind of canceled in the spring. I was trying to keep the kids upbeat as much as possible. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
And
so
just kept
disappointing.
going on, but
there's so many, in this area especially, there were so many class of 20 kids that were just phenomenal softball players, and there were so many great stories this year about softball that I was really looking forward to digging into that obviously never happened.
Yeah, I come from Horicon originally, which is
there's a lot of good softball in Horicon. Holy cow!
They were going for their three-peat again this year.
That's some good softball over there.
Yeah, that was kind of the community pride for a long time.
As it should be. Holy smokes, did they play ball. We were actually going to go do a game with them this year, and of course the season got washed away and didn't happen. But I said the same thing with basketball. At the state tournament, there were so many great stories. I said they're all kind of presents under the tree. We're all waiting to unwrap them, and now they'll just sit there forever, and we'll never know what was in them. And
yeah, I was disappointed. I got Horicon to get us on the schedule this year. They had a lot of good seniors. Coach Levy said, "Okay, we'll play a 1 year," and then it didn't happen. So I think Beaver Dam is my curse. I put them on the schedule 4 years in a row now, and we've gotten rained out the previous 3, and then this one. So we have never played Beaver Dam, even though they've been on the schedule for 5 straight years.
Quinn Hines, Coach, thanks so much for all your support of W7 and what we're doing, and just coming out today and hanging out with us. It's been great having you. You're welcome anytime. We'd love to have you, and looking forward to getting up to Oshkosh and hanging out with you and the girls. This winter, I'm staying optimistic. We're going to have a season, and we're going to have a great time, and looking forward to spending time with you guys.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks for having me.
37-26, your final, and that's do it for our broadcast tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Stick with us for tomorrow. We'll get the schedule out tonight for tomorrow's games as we wrap up the Great Lakes Classic. Thanks to the Lakers, Mike Ellis, for having us. It's been a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow. And just one last reminder.